Next to the slums, the site of the Sheraton Hotel was totally random. It has specially constructed fake scenery round huge fountains and swimming pools designed to block out the sights of the slums. It was really upsetting. Some of us had decided to use the word Sheraton as a swear word from now on. If you ever get the chance to come to Ethiopia, come with Cred and meet real people with real stories to tell, and stay at local places and try the local food, although be careful, it may change your priorities when you get home.
They say that this Mercato is the biggest market in Africa. It was full of life and shouting and people and trading and excitement. We learnt to barter for the things we bought as gifts for our families, and I have to admit that the Tango Man t-shirts were quite useful in making sure we stayed safe and didn't get lost.
So much of what we saw was so unfair. We saw dozens of future Ronaldos, Madonnas who were never going to have their chance to develop their potential. The people were so friendly and generous, but some were desperate too. Poverty does that to you.
Sometimes the smell of the place would nearly make you sick, but then you see the looks on the faces of the 5 children all trying to hold your hand, and you get overwhelmed that you've put some joy into someone else's life. It's funny that by a polluted, stinky river, you can experience such happiness.
We made sure we stayed safe as we could. We hired a local guide called Solomon, who took us to the places we wanted to go in the Mercato, and most of us managed to avoid buying Rasta hats.
When Cred come out to Addis, there's always a game of football somewhere. They're nuts about the game and watch the Premiership more than they do their own teams. We weren't sure whether this was totally good, but it did mean we got to hear the scores from England without having to ring up home. This time we had a football competition at IHA UDP's youth centre with 4 teams: Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal and Liverpool. Each team was made up of 4 local lads and 1 clumsy Brit. It took ages to get everybody into their kit donated by Highdown Saints, Wolves and Windbourne Town, but eventually we were lining up to show that the English still remembered how to play the beautiful game. The crowd went a bit mad at the sight of Joe's pearly white legs, and Paul nearly disappeared down a drain whilst he was refereeing. Adam scored a cracker despite the goalie getting his fingertips to the ball, and somehow I managed to pick up a yellow card, arguing with the ref. In the end, Manchester United won. Despite playing in yellow, some things never change.
The kids as well as the team had been looking forward to this celebration all week. We all showed the families and community what their wonderful children had been doing with us at school. I don't think any of them had been on stage and received applause before. It was amazing to celebrate the achievements of some of the poorest kids on the planet.
The sound was really echoey in the hall, but I hope you get a feel of what an awesome celebration it was. We could hardly believe that after all the planning, travelling and hard work all week, it was nearly over. We are so grateful to everyone back home for letting us come, and for our friends in Addis for being so welcoming.
We had to say goodbye to the children after an outstanding show. We were all in tears and the children couldn't understand why. It was them though. It was all about them and the fact we may not see some of them again. One little girl came up to me. I had met her on the first day. My heart broke as reality sank in. I had to leave her. I gave her my t-shirt and my necklace and told her that next year I would come back and be with her again, and I will.
I've seen those kids who have so little show a quality of life and happiness that I have never seen in people back home. It's crazy. This changes things when I get home. It has to. We have seen things that have changed our lives, and we hope that in some small way we have helped to make a difference in someone else's life too.